The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What is happening, everybody? Good evening, good night, good morning, whatever time of day it is. I hope you're having a good one. I'm your host, the Appalachian American. It looks like a bomb went off in my room because it's birthday season here in the Scott house. So yeah, it's been a wild couple days. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. But we're here. We're on schedule-ish. I think it's only like 2 minutes late, but whatever. Hey, I'm happy to be here. Like I said, I'm the Appalachian American. We're going to have some fun tonight. Joining me, as always, is my left-hand man, the author, David Applegate.
G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to another War Room. And sit back, relax, and we're going to fill you in on what's really going on.
Yeah, hey, we have Channel Dave Brown Lake.
Howdy, everybody. Let's get started.
No camera tonight?
I don't feel like finding the cord.
Do what?
I've been trying to move stuff around in here, and I misplaced the cord, and I don't know where I put it.
Nice.
It's probably under a box.
Probably. Hey, a couple more plane crashes and a helicopter incident today. That's not good to talk about.
Well, you know.
Who are they and what kind of information did they have on the Clintons?
Correct.
Yeah, well.
I thought there was a CEO in one of the.
Unfortunately, that's now the go-to question of who knew what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, is that birds that are outside?
Yeah, I actually have a storm coming in, so there's birds making quite a fuss outside.
They are loud. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's a neighbour's birds. It's having a hissy fit because the storm's rolling in off the coast.
Hey, Anime Night. What's up, man?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Anime.
Man,
howdy.
Man, we have had... The helicopter footage is pretty crazy. I saw that.
Yeah, kid fell to her death.
Yeah, it was 3 kids.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Terrible.
3 kids, 2 parents, and pilot. So.
Yeah, well, they're stretching it. You know, they keep stretching out the life of these airframes to milk as much money as they can because everything's so expensive to replace.
Hey, breaking news. As of yesterday, the U.S. House has voted to pass the SAVE Act, requiring citizens proof of citizenship to vote.
Well, there's going to be a lot of howling at the moon.
216 yays and 208 nays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
howling at the moon.
4 Democrats voted yay.
Yeah. They must be up for re-election.
Yeah. So 220 to 208.
Yeah. What was that, Late? You're saying that they're up for re-election? That's probably right.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
There's probably some reason that they did. Yeah.
Or they're one of the few moderates left.
Yeah, that's true. Or they know they can win when there's an election that isn't filled with fraud.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason they're howling, is they know they won't win any more elections.
Well, I said they're howling at the moon. I thought you were going to say, when aren't they howling at the moon?
Yeah.
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 Was
And when the
there
moon's not up, they're howling that the moon's not up.
was there a something coming out about Gina Carano's court case?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, there's something coming out, but no, the media can't report on it. There's a gag order.
Oh, is this the Disney lawsuit, you mean?
Yeah.
This was on April 7th. Discovery motion granted in Gina Carano's case against Disney. The court is forcing Disney to turn over information about how stars like Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, and others from The Mandalorian, other Disney Plus Star Wars show, and forthcoming. Well, here, let me share this.
Yeah.
Unless it causes mass echo. Does it?
I think so.
As long as David doesn't say anything.
All right, David, just hang on. Whenever we bring it down, we'll talk about it in here in just a second. So, the court is for Rosario and other of the Mandalorian, other Disney Plus Star Wars shows. Forthcoming movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu were compensated for their roles. So, order granting in part and denying in part plaintiff's motion to compel. Disney must produce verified spreadsheets showing actor pay across multiple key evidence that will help show financial harm that Disney imposed on Gina when it unfairly and unlawfully terminated her. While the court's order did not give Gina access to everything she was looking for, it made clear we can seek further evidence on actor compensation of our experts, including such evidence is still necessary after we review what Disney produces in response to this order. The court also requires Disney to move quickly, giving them only 20 days to comply with the order. The order shows the court won't let Disney bury relevant information in this high-stakes battle by playing procedural games.
They play procedural games anyway. That's why this case hasn't been settled or advanced as fast as most cases normally would. And normally the California Board of Support of Laborers would rule on this case, not a court. The reason why it's in court is because Californians sat on their hands over Disney's hiring practices, and too many people are linked to Disney.
So if they're going to ask for production prices, like the company, what they're paying other stars.
Gina has to know how much her replacement got paid.
But she didn't get replaced. That's the thing. She didn't get replaced. They just wrote her off.
Yeah, but what I mean is, okay, technically, yeah, when you get replaced at a company, it's much easier to prove. Like if somebody gets replaced for more than you, that you know, or less. Basically, she's saying, look, Pedro gets this much money. I was getting 88 cents in the dollar because I'm a woman. But here you go. This is how much Pedro is getting paid. I want my 80%.
Gotcha.
But I think she wanted the other stars' figures as well because she is being replaced in the movie. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, so she was supposed to be in the movie?
I think so. I think if she was still with LucasArts, she would have been in the movie. Remember, when you join a production, they tell you what's coming and what they want you for. Otherwise, because they have to book you for a certain amount of time.
Right. Huh. Well, that's interesting.
So if this movie falls in the time that she was originally going to be booked for, then yes, she lost money. And yes, somebody is filling in that space for her, whether they were physically hired to replace her or not. They need a certain number of cast members to meet what they call the audience expectation, right? Certain shows have a certain formula. whether it's the 5-man crew, the 13 command team, the 4-man band. There's always a formula to these shows. They may not be apparent to everyone. So Gina, whether or not you think she was replaced or not, doesn't matter, because she fit a formula in the role in that show. There is a replacement, or will be a replacement.
Yeah.
Because they have to keep to the formula because of audience expectations. Remember, 50% of the people out there complain if Matlock doesn't have, every time Scott Baio isn't on, I forget the name of the show now, Matlock. Is it Matlock with Scott Baio or one of them? When Scott Baio was off and on, they still ring and complain. Put Scott back on, even though that show is 20 years old or something.
I didn't know what I don't really watch too much of Scott Baio stuff. I know that he's a pretty good conservative dude, but
yeah, I'm just saying, when they started writing conservatives out of TV shows, right, people started complaining, but they tried to replace them with other actors. You look at cast changes over the years. Gino has a pretty good case building, apparently, because of this. But she said multiple times, I can't tell you everything we discovered. A lot of it is going to be hidden behind what they call work product. So she can't discuss their work product. And that work product is how they formulate how many cast members the show has.
Gotcha.
Because one of the arguments, I think, is they're going to argue that she wasn't critical to the show.
I don't know that she was. I mean, I'm not taking it away from her, because, I mean, I liked her on the show, but...
Yeah. And remember, one of the advantages of having a failing TV show is they can say she didn't lift the ratings.
That's true. If anything, it hurt the ratings when she got removed, because a lot of people stopped watching.
Yeah. So if she can, that's another thing. If she has the timeline and production timelines, she could show exactly at the point to the ratings drop. That's why Disney's been stalling.
That could be, yeah.
The view numbers. Hey, look at this. You're down by 1 million seconds. And lo and behold, it's the time you announce my firing. And it's case over, right?
Yeah.
And that's why they're stalling. That's why she can't say everything out loud. Because it would taint the case, according to the Disney lawyers. But they tanked their own case.
Yeah.
They tanked it way back with Bob Iger. I think it was Bob Iger saying, it's not our decision. And then LucasArts say, but it wasn't our decision. It's like, whose was it?
They're definitely doing everything they can to bury.
Bury the case in mumbo jumbo.
Because they don't want that out.
No, they do not want the viewing numbers out. They do not want the drop in viewing numbers out. They don't want the pay coming out, because a lot of people are questioning, particularly investors, how much these productions are actually costing them, and why aren't they and why aren't they getting any returns?
Yeah.
The problem is you have people like Abigail Disney who've become, and other major shareholders who are activists. They don't care how much money it costs. To them, this is just Disneyland is just a, what do you call it? An experiment, a plaything. Nate probably knows the proper term for it. I don't know. I just can't remember it right now. But when it's a sandbox and they play in it, and if they break a toy, they don't care. They just toss it aside. You know what happens?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that show is just toy buying, toy selling.
Yeah, that's what that.
That's all they want. They want to just make money off toys, which I've heard through reliable sources that Walmart's dropping Star Wars toys.
Not dropping. I heard that they were dropping the new Star Wars toys.
Oh, okay. I heard they were just dropping the whole line.
Well, I think that's the argument because Hasbro has dropped the old line for the new line, and Hasbro's not. As Hasbro said, no. They want the old line back because they make money off the old line.
Gotcha.
You go to any toy store, and I've been to a few, and they have all the old black box, all the old black Kenner.
Yeah, most of them are just dumb characters.
But I'm just saying, you got hundreds of characters now with Star Wars, and Walmart saying, no, we're not giving you 2 shelves. Give us the old line back, and we're fine. We don't,
They want the stuff that sells, not the stuff that they have to then sell at a loss to Ollie's or somebody.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised Ollie's is still sitting on the garbage.
Yeah.
Because it sucks.
No, Ollie's is getting Ollie's is getting trucks by the day from straight from Hasbro. Hasbro is cleaning house. Okay, they're losing money.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy
Ollie's
though,
stays in business, right? You get the stuff no one else could sell.
Yeah, dude, it's garbage. And like the same stuff's there, and I know because I went to I went to my local Ollie's.
Yeah.
And I took a figure, and I on the corner of like the sticker, I I didn't do anything to alter the sticker, but I kind of like bunched up the corner,
Yeah.
just try to make and then I made sure that it was there, and then I put it back on the shelf. Came back like 2 weeks later, and it was still there.
Yeah.
So I mean, like nothing. They don't do any. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, but look, a lot of terms are thrown around. One is MRA, market research analysis, and the market says there's only so many toy buyers out there. Yet Hasbro has consistently made too many to try and flood out the market. So McFarlane Toys and many others can't sell because because the retail on those may be the same price, but the margins on the Hasbro's are higher because of their cheap imports.
Yeah.
Now that they've got the Chinese tariff wars and many other things, these toys are toxic and overpriced and underperforming. And they're still overproducing to try and flood the market to push everybody else out. And it's not working.
I bet.
People aren't buying toys in toy stores anymore. They're going to Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Well, I think most of the toys are now going over to Indiegogo because a lot of them are falling short of their 10,000 and deciding that rather than trying to do something else, they're going to take that 9,800 pledges and send the rest to Ollie's. But they're still doing it. They're like still plugging away. Hasbro's losing money. It looks like they're going to have to sell D&D. They can't hold on to it for much longer if they keep losing money on it. They're having to sell a lot of their IPs because they're not profitable.
It's just not. It's not beneficial. I don't understand how in the world that I don't understand how they stay in business. I mean, like we just said, it's.
I think they have the big investments like Disney. I think because we know Disney stays in business because they receive billions of dollars a month from the stock market.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, Knight's finally moving. He was frozen for a while, or was he sitting still?
I don't know.
No,
What's up, man? I know you went to a con last week. What happened? How was it?
It actually went a lot better than last year. Last year was a lot more fun. Sorry, this year was a lot more fun. the lines weren't bad. Like we got in, we got
Good.
in and out. Like we got in and out, and they were cool. Got my stuff checked. The sword survived. It
They
survived.
didn't give you hassle.
Nice.
It survived
Yeah.
prop inspection. They tested it. They bent it a little bit, but not too much. They only bent it a little bit just to test the
Make sure it
flexibility.
wasn't a solid weapon.
Yeah. Thankfully, they knew what they were doing. So I'm like, okay, you can bend it. Just be careful with it. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of fun. Got to meet Johnny Bosch, who played Adam in Power Rangers. Really fun dude. It was an honor to meet him. And I did see a lot of Power Rangers stuff though. I did.
Yeah, you sent me some pictures, man. That was cool stuff.
Yeah, Hasbro getting. I think that's what's keeping Hasbro in business, isn't it?
No, their contract's gone, dude.
Really?
Yeah, they stopped selling Power Ranger stuff.
Yeah,
I told
so
you, Hasbro's in trouble. They're selling
whatever's at
IDs.
the convention, it's fair game.
Yeah.
It's fair game. And
Yeah.
for that, despite it being out of the box and everything, and only $30, that's a huge steal right there.
That's cool.
It might not have come with everything, but it's still cool nonetheless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They did have a golden dragon sword in box for $300.
Those are cool. It was the black and gold version, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Those are neat, but I never got into that because I wanted it to look show accurate. It was cool, but if you could get the whole set, like the Megazord, the Dragonzord, and Titanus, you'd be in business because you'd have some serious money.
You're missing the Titanus, aren't you?
I am. A lot of people say that to wait for see, I got the Soul Chikogan set, the Dragon and the Megazord. Now I'm waiting for Titanus, but Titanus is super expensive. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for prices to go down. Say that the pricing is just not there. The pricing for quality is not there.
Yeah.
But
It's which is a shame.
mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see.
Well, we got official figures out on the deportations.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
What's
Honduras, 45,920. Guatemala, 66,440. Dominican Republic, only 2,990. Yeah. In 2024, 287,000 migrants were deported, majority from Latino countries.
Wow.
Apparently 2025 is going to top these numbers. And the continuing trend will continue to rise up and through and be a dominant topic of the 2026 midterms.
Hey, here's a old Fruit of the Loom logo with the cornucopia. That's kind of funny. Unless it's AI. People talking about the Mandela effect. Haha.
I don't know what the cornucopia logo should look like because I'm told it's not what you think it is, and it's like, okay.
I don't know. The Hadron Collider probably eliminated people's brains, and now the Mandela effect is the cope of that, so that people don't feel so crazy about knowing that things actually happened.
Oh no! NASA's forced to fire a top. NASA tried to hide its DEI executive.
Oh, really?
NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab was forced to fire a DEI consultant after trying to hide her as one of the 900 job cuts due to budgeting issues. The diversity office, they tried to keep Regina on after the DEI, rest of the office was closed. But even though they took DEI off her title, she was called the head of employee success. And she was in charge of the Black Excellence Strategic Team. Because you know how important black people are to astronauts, right? When the Moors ruled, the moon.
Yep.
The first astronaut was black, comrades.
Let's see. What else is there we could talk about? Other than there's more airplanes crashing.
What do you think of the adjustment to the tariffs?
I do know that the media is lying to people.
Yep, because the moment Trump, he called it room to negotiate. When Trump announced the initial tariffs, EU and others sent negotiators. So he listened to Congress and said, all right, I'll make it a scalpel with room to move so you can negotiate. And the media just took out everything and said, I'm cutting the tariffs. But it's a scalpel, right? It's still there. It's doing its job. China's getting isolated, getting very desperate, asking India for help.
Do you think China is the main reason that we're having this tariff issue?
Well, China's currency manipulation. Chuck Schumer, back in 2006, demanded tariffs on China because of currency manipulation. So you do the maths.
Gotcha.
And of course, Chucky is complaining about the tariffs upsetting the trade with China because it's 2025, not 2006.
Do you think Elon Musk is going to put robots on Mars?
I think that's the plan.
He made a post yesterday talking about it. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, apparently Tesla's testing an Android.
Well, we've already put robots on Mars.
Yeah. So then back in 1975, the first US landing was a robot that took soil samples.
Yeah, we've
and then there was the
what was the one with the little
remote control? Yeah. There's that remote control job, the rover.
Yeah, the I keep saying when I say Endeavour, but that was a space shuttle. But it was like they had the little rover.
Yeah,
that went around and did things.
Have you seen the Tesla robot?
The Optimus?
White body, black head.
Yeah.
Does a T-pose of the Tesla logo.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Guess what it's called?
Optimus.
Yeah. Rival. You've seen the meme. Rival company to come out with Megatron. Android.
Yeah.
Google to make Megatron. Google's Megatron. Yeah. Come on, Google, do it. Because, Google owned Boston Dynamics, the military contractor, which is why they don't have the logo anymore. Don't do evil. They took out the N apostrophe T.
Let's see. Apparently, Tulsi Gabbard is making some waves right now.
No, what's Tulsi
They
done?
found apparently this was posted yesterday. Wait, today's the 11th. Yeah, yesterday the 10th. Tulsi Gabbard says they found evidence on electronic voting systems and how they're manipulating votes in election. And they're coming out
Yeah, I saw that.
more, discussing more things.
And yeah, RFK saying he's launching an inquiry into autism.
Yeah. Well, the studies are done. They're just going through the motions now so that people understand this stuff's been out there but not published.
Right. Are we talking about talking about elections or are we talking about autism?
No, I'm talking about autism. But what I want to know is with the stuff that Tulsi was talking about if they release more, does someone owe Mike Lindell an apology? Was he on the right track or was he chasing a ghost?
Well, but see, that's the crazy part because Mike Lindell, I mean, he had this whole set up so that he could find all this stuff, and he found so many different anomalies that it's like you guys owe him something.
Yeah. Well, and then one of his tech people was a FBI informant and set some stuff up so that they had a reason to go after him.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
what a loser.
There's always a plant in every operation. That's what the Italian government back in '89 warned everybody, particularly in Europe, though, that it's what they do. That the influence peddling operations. They'll hide somebody's shady past, put them in something, and then some lawyer will sue you and know exactly everything that was hidden and where it's hidden. And just say, "Oh, I'm an investigator. My investigator's uncovered."
Well, that's how you got to keep your budget going. You got to go invent the crime.
Pretty much, yeah.
And those are ones they're high profile and they know they're going to win. But real crime, we don't bother with real crime. That's too much of an effort.
No,
investigate that.
No, because it's too complicated. I actually heard an excuse. I think it was Comey saying, well, this case is so complicated, the average juror won't understand and is likely to not find Hillary Clinton guilty.
There's probably some truth to that.
Nobody wants to find her guilty.
That's why they do complex. That's why they allegedly do complex influence peddling campaigns where they donate lots of money, like the mayor of Moscow, and visiting Vladimir Putin, getting $500,000 cashier's check from, Bill Clinton. Is the only. They say Trump's a puppet, but the only person that ever got paid by a personal check by Vladimir Putin was Bill Clinton. Got $500,000.
Billy boy,
yeah.
It's every accusation by liberals a confession.
Old Slick Willie.
It's projection at the very least.
Gotta get more powder for my nose. I have a nose like a vacuum. Gotta get more powder for it.
Yep.
I did not have sexual relationships with that Tesla robot.
I love when people make the memes of there are actually two people in this room.
Yes.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Monica's officially too old for Bill.
Yeah, pretty much.
She was in the news. It was like London or something. She was
40th birthday. Yeah.
She looks better now than she did when she was younger.
Monica Lewinsky, American activist. Yeah, not bad.
American activist. has lived in London for the last 20 years to get away from the media.
She's 51.
Oh, it's the 50th. I thought it was, I thought it was the 40.
July 23rd, 73.
I hate the fact that they didn't impeach Bill Clinton because he only had 6 months left on his term. What a fucking sellout. Oh, pardon me. Bunch of sellouts.
That's like if he only had like 20 days. Would it matter if it was 6 months or 20 days? He's still a sellout.
The funniest thing is if you look at the Wikipedia for Monica Lewinsky, it'll come up and say best known for the Clinton Lewinsky scandal.
Yeah.
Even Wikipedia is sick of them. They just don't. Wikipedia is like, you know what? You Clintons need to be reminded a little bit. So we're gonna put this here, Monica. Here you go. Use it as your crowning achievement. How much you want to bet?
Yeah, reminded that they have dirty
out her
laundry
window
and
every
everything.
now and then.
Yeah, you know, it gets
She
me
peers out her window. She's like,
when Hillary says something like the moral fabric of America. Yeah. It's when Hillary Clinton says things like the moral fabric of America. Hello?
Yeah.
You and your
Dude,
friend,
Leib,
Jeff.
your
right,
panties
man.
don't count.
Leib, you're right, dude. Her 1997 government identification picture and her 2025 picture is like night and day different.
Yep.
Oh, you should have seen Nancy Pelosi in the early 2000, like in the early
Man, now I'm gonna have to go look, see if she's still drunk.
Nancy, hey, Anime Night. It's like the transformation of Rosemary West. If you know who Rosemary West is and you saw what she used to look like and saw her now, you go, yeah, evil definitely transforms people and reveals who they really are.
Yeah. Well, that's like what's her name who was doing the stuff in Ukraine.
Hunter?
No. Under Biden mission. Well, she was practically running Ukraine for a while.
Victoria Nuland.
Yeah. You look at her young.
She was hot, wasn't she?
I was like, holy cow, lady.
You look at her security clearance for the Bush administration when she first went into that job. I mean, you would not think that it's the same person.
Yeah.
She looked like, you know who she reminds me of? Rosemary West. So I brought her up. Victoria Nuland reminds me so much of that transformation.
Rosemary West.
I don't know. I mean, is this who I'm looking at? Victoria Nuland?
No.
Yeah, that's Victoria Nuland.
That's her, but that's what she looks like.
Yeah,
that's
so
right
there, that one.
See?
Jeez, evil does transform.
And that's
Oh
probably
my Lord.
10 years apart, 15 maybe.
Good Lord.
It's not just the weight; it's the way she carries her. It's the scowl. It's the hair. You know, if she kept the hair even, you know, take 5 years off. You know, but it's the shoulders. It's everything. She is carrying chains. There's multiple millstones around her neck.
Yeah, she's carrying multiple demons.
Yeah.
She probably ate them.
Yeah.
She probably thought they were donuts. But you compare her to her opposite number. Have you seen her opposite number in Russia? Oh my God, Victoria's younger than her, but it's night and day. You look at her opposite number in Russia and you're going, oh, old effect, baby.
That's crazy.
but you just have a look at the difference with some of the foreign ministers these days. You look at France. Oh my God, looks like he walking corpse. Macron, isn't he aging?
Well, that's what happens when you're married to a man.
Yeah. Oh, Justin Trudeau's no longer hiding the fact that his hair's graying.
Well, yeah. I just, dude, he's so...
Okay.
He's annoying. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Even his wife said it, so come on. We're allowed to say it, YouTube. His wife said it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. There was a lot of stuff going on. And then I've been trying to listen to some Crowder
Britain and
and
Germany
stuff.
are trying to prolong the. Britain and Germany want Trump to fail in the negotiations so they can prolong the Ukraine war. They said the only way to end this war is a just peace, and it's like, define it, please.
Yeah.
Because they always hide behind slogans, you know.
What do you guys think about Chinese infiltration of America?
Been going on since the Clintons.
It's no surprise to anybody. I mean, the Soviets have done it. The Germans have done it. Actually, you know what? There is an actual the oh crap, I'm trying to remember. There were some German Arctic bases in World War II. There was a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not in Antarctica. There were a couple of
bases that, there were some bases that were left out of the official reports by the US after the war, and the US quietly took them over and found that the Russians had been there for some, although they found in some that the Russians had been there for some time too.
Yeah.
There's also an island off the coast of, off the Baltic coast, which is still off limits because of mysterious radiation. They won't admit it, but that's where Germany tested a nuclear bomb.
Yep, they will never admit it. They will never admit it.
No, because during the war, there was a daring operation which later became Operation Paperclip, in which Alan Dulles flew to Italy, met with some high-ranking people, and basically convinced them to switch sides and smuggle the nuclear scientists to America. And the last thing Americans want to know is who helped them finish the bomb, why Oppenheimer was so upset.
Do you really think there's something to Antarctica? Like why we can't go there? Other than it's like really
the deadly cold. The cold will kill you. Yeah.
Oh,
so
will it? I mean, I get being cold. You know, that sucks. Whatever.
No, if you've ever been in a heavy snowstorm, that's normal for Antarctica, and it will eventually kill you. It won't kill you straight away, but it will. But your body can't generate enough heat to keep up with the chill factor.
So that's the real reason is the cold.
People die. Even scientists who go there.
I'm not saying
dying.
there's not, but I mean, like
what
that's
do you mean
literally
you can't go there. You can. There's lots of people there now.
In Antarctica?
Yes.
No, there's like a treaty or something that it's illegal to go there.
No, it's
there
not
are
illegal to go there.
parts. There are large parts where it's illegal to go.
It's claimed by multiple countries, so it's not just one country that has it. And you have to have permission to go there, but it also costs a lot of money to get there.
I could have swore that it's like illegal to be there.
There are parts where
I think there's several hundred people there right now.
On UNESCO's soil. There are parts of Antarctica which are what they call reserves, nature reserves, and it's illegal to be there because that's penguin breeding grounds, etc. Yeah. But for some reason, people have taken that story, and over the years, it's gotten shorter and shorter to you just can't go there. That's the problem with headlining. I'm sorry.
Okay, there's an AI overview on Google. Yeah, it's not illegal to travel to Antarctica. The Antarctica Treaty, a unique international agreement, ensures that Antarctica is used for peaceful and scientific purposes. While individuals don't need a visa to travel there, tourism operators need to obtain permits to conduct activity like cruises and expeditions.
Yeah. So that's because you're crossing multiple borders. There's a lot of danger. There's also nature reserves where you can go around but not through. There's also fish breeding grounds that you can go around but not through. But yeah, over the years, it's just become so common for people to be told, no, you just can't travel to Antarctica, for the headlines to basically formulate themselves.
Huh.
No, I'm not saying exactly. It's sort of one of those weird things where, yeah, there are laws. It's just not entirely illegal.
You don't need a passport to go. You could just go.
Yeah, because there's parts of Antarctica that are international.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's international stations all over it. Yeah.
To get to somewhere to get there, though, because a lot of times you're going to come from South America.
Well, right.
So is it Chile that goes all the way down, or Argentina? I don't remember which one.
How do you?
I think it's the bottom of Chile.
What do you have to fly to, like, Chile and then take a boat over or something?
Depends
that's the most common way. There's also there used to be also flights out of New Zealand and Australia, but I think currently Chile is the only one with boats still operating. And that's mostly because a lot of cruise liners are losing money and had to shut down operations.
Yeah, because the sea there, I guess
the sea is so cold that they can only operate parts of the year. Yeah,
yeah, buoyancy issues. Plus, it's very
cold.
It's cold, stormy, and I think a lot of the flights are either military or military charter, and you have to
sign a waiver.
Yeah. Well, there's a point where they have to call ahead, and if the forecast is not favorable, you have to turn around. It's a point of no return. You're either going to turn around or you're going to go for it, and hopefully you land safely on the ice.
Yeah. And the other one is the flyovers. The difficulty with the flyovers is they have to time them so the sun isn't coming at you.
Yeah. And then I think there's also been a problem with what to do with all the waste.
Gotcha.
Tons of waste are flowing out every year, but they can't fly enough of it.
So what goes on down there? I mean, obviously scientific research.
Mostly drilling into ice to try and create an accurate picture of the world's climate over time. That's the biggest project. They have 1,000+ climate scientists in Antarctica. Because ice record is the only current way we know how to reach back in time and actually tell us the climate of the planet. Because ice has an unusual thing called a core heat memory, and that is when you melt the ice, you actually get you get a brief moment of the air temperature at the time the water was unfrozen.
Oh.
They're trying to also verify the botany of the planet because seeds are trapped in the ice, and finding those are difficult.
How much of Antarctica do you think is actually like land?
Well, according to the sat nav, about a third, and it's about a mile at least underwater. It's like totally crushed.
Holy hot dogs!
2/3 of Greenland is underwater. It's just crushed by ice.
Dang,
it's that heavy.
Do you think that could be the lost city of Atlantis?
Unfortunately, Antarctica is shown to be frozen at the time of the Greeks talking about Atlantis. And actually, the thing is, it was actually known as the island of Atlas originally, in the original way back ancient Greek. Atlantis is the short translation. It's Atlantis Isle, not Atlantis. It's
Gotcha.
Atlas's Isle.
So do you think you say that majority the land of Antarctica would be
Majority underwater.
So what
But
is
there
it?
are a
Just
few
ice?
mountains.
It's the ice that's like
The ice is so heavy, it's just pushing down on it. That's
Oh,
why the
wow.
bottom of the planet's flat.
Huh.
It's not natural. It's the remnants of the ice age. That ice wasn't there 160,000 years ago, according to some. Others put it much further back.
But then you've also got to look at has the pole shifted?
Yes, that's what they're looking for. Also, they're looking for magnetic resonance, and that is rocks which still contain aligned fragments of iron dust, which will show the pattern different to current patterns that prove that the planet used to actually be on its side.
Huh. Because people talk about the shifting shifting axes quite a bit. I've heard quite a bit of talk about that.
Currently, we have a 15.5 degree axis turn, and that's what gives us
every
current
so many
seasons.
1,000 years or something.
But every so many thousand years, there's a wobble or something that's appeared, and they're worried that as the wobble increases, we'll have another axis shift. Now, according to ancient Egypt records, this happens every 5,550 years. But it hasn't happened.
There was a lot of discussion about like how it would change the
And then the Mayan calendar said there was a change every 10,000 years, but that also hasn't been found to have happened. So, then again, there are phenomena in nature known as the rule of exception where it might skip. You know, it's like the solar flares. Sometimes they don't show up, even though for the last 400 something years they've noticed every 10 years the solar flare, and then suddenly it doesn't show up.
What would the U.S. look like after the pole
shift?
There was a pretty cool map that really laid out like what.
Did you see the map of the? I've seen the map of America look like the
Anyway, Night, are you safe? I'm safe. Lape's safe.
What's going on?
If the pole shifted, this is what America would look like. The blue representing underwater.
I'm safe.
All right, cool.
I'm in Arizona.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know. Well, let's see. That's Arizona, right?
Yeah.
I'd be good.
Poor Tony Tone Deaf. He'd be gone.
Nevada. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, dude. LMP's gone.
City's gone.
And Texas.
Oh man, I don't know where Tap and Die's at. Hopefully he's safe.
Gaber's Ford. Gone.
But look at no more Florida, man. I'm right on the verge.
The
Appalachians actually safe.
Make that full screen.
Hang on, I'm gonna back it down so I can actually.
Which pole shift are we talking about? Are we talking about magnetic or actual pole shift?
No, we're talking about the physical shift, not the magnetic shift.
Because magnetic just moves around all the time.
Yeah, but the actual physical shift is over a much bigger period. But there is evidence that suggests that every so often the planet tilts to its side and stays there. which is what might have given us the Ice Age. And that's why that's why climate scientists are so worried about the climate. It's just the only way they could get you interested in the climate and interested in funding you is to create this climate change panic. Climate scientists have admitted there's no such thing as climate change, except when there is. And what it is a big overall arcing shift.
What you think, Late?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
3 hours from it.
Do what?
To the east. If I go straight, it's 3 hours. If I go west, that's 6 hours from you.
What I'm saying,
Nevada's gone.
Yeah, Nevada's gone, bro. Like, that's crazy.
Well, there's
not Portland.
Oh no, we're so worried.
Oh no, California. Hey, Elon,
Midwest is still attacked.
But have you noticed that, like, look at DC. DC's completely gone. A lot of people have been saying that people have been going to the Ozarks and somewhere in Colorado. Is that in Colorado? Is the Ozarks in Colorado?
I believe so.
Ozark
No, Missouri.
Missouri.
And mostly underwater in that.
Oh.
Yeah, because the tectonic shift would be such, the bolts of the Earth would change, and so would the patterns of the ocean. But I don't think there's going to be that much water released if the poles melt. Because remember, ice takes up more room than it does as water.
Most of Michigan's gone.
I'm not saying there won't be some changes, because the bulbs would be different. Because it should be up here. You'd be flatter.
Poor Louisiana. Never had a chance. They're already underwater.
Well, that's what they're doing. Just measuring the lines.
Yeah. That's wild, dude. That's truly terrifying to think about. Like, just the whole place is, like, wiped off the map.
Well, yeah, because the US is only bulging out above water because of the tectonic pressure. If you change the position of that pressure, you don't have as much uplift beneath you.
Yeah. That's just wild.
But there's already maps of the US that show that parts of the US used to be underwater. That's what they're basing it on. A return. The planet will do what the planet's going to do, whether you like it or not. It's a matter of Elon's warning that we don't want to be around when the tectonic shifts become regular. This will be a catastrophic event for all life. And according to some scientists, we've already had 6 catastrophic volcanic events.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Tectonic shifts open up massive amounts of volcanic pressure. And they vent tens of billions of tons of CO2 into the atmosphere, which creates even more CO2 as it kills plant life. There's a volcanic watch going on right now in the US, apparently.
Uh-oh. Is
Where at?
it Yellowstone again?
I forget what they're watching currently, but most of them are false alerts. No, Kalamura in that's in Hawaii, isn't it? Oh, Iceland. Yeah, you also got Iceland, which if it erupted, you'd get a huge cloud as far. You might get a cloud as far as New York. Yeah. Yeah, they issued a magma warning in January 1625, but it's pretty much like going to a fortune teller. They'll tell you something that might happen. It's likely an event that could happen to you based on your lifestyle. So when it happens, they say it was foretold, even though it's a likely event. But all they can do is basically monitor volcano pressure and try and figure out where the threshold is at the point where they say it's definitely going to be an eruption.
Anime Night, have you seen Trump the anime?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it.
Gosh, that's hilarious.
I actually found it pretty enjoyable. I'm like, I'd be willing if it was a 2-hour movie. I would sit through it. I would enjoy every minute
I
of
would
it.
watch the crap out of it.
I like you know what? I love the part where Trump and the former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, are feeding the koi fish, and then there's the American one. That right there, I shed a tear on that one because
That
it's
was
like
awesome.
I'm like, this is what we need right now. This is what we need. And I know I know that could be a reality right there. You know, if Shinzo Abe didn't die, I guarantee Japan would be in a much better frame of mind.
Yeah. Hey, so what's going on
Yeah.
with Zuckerberg selling out America to China?
He wanted China Daddy to mount him again.
Yeah, he wants kind of Zuckerberg knows Facebook is dying. It's just not dying at a rapid rate,
Meta
and he
gave
wants to
the
save it by
access to American user data. Not hacked, not stolen, given.
Mm-hmm.
Zuckerberg let Chinese Communist Party snoop on your private information, messages, photos, locations, connections, all sitting on servers in China that China could access. Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't sell data to China. They just happen to find it somehow.
Apparently they gave it.
No. It's just a coincidence. The servers are in China, totally safe, totally private. Oops, they have super user access to everything. Oops.
Let's see. Did anybody like Tom Fitton?
It's not bad.
He posted yesterday a repost from 2023 bringing up Fauci documents and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, Pam Bondi's got tens of thousands of documents that are being sorted, which is why everything's taking so long. But don't worry. When you two get to 230, you can still get Social Security.
Yeah.
6 times.
Crazy. So who is this Muhammad Kali? He'll be deported thanks to Friday's ruling on immigration judge.
Apparently he's a Palestinian activist at Columbia who's been there for years, a professional student who got deportated because he broke the hate speech policy.
Oh.
And all the liberals go, no, it's free speech. Okay, we can walk around saying the N-word. Hate speech, hate speech. There's,
Yeah.
It's just basically hypocrisy. Because if he had said the N-word, they wouldn't have been making a fuss about it. But because it's Israel, let's pour on the hate. Take all these gay activists from Colombia and have Khalid take them on a tour of Gaza. I'm sure the first stop will be the roof.
Yeah. That'd be kind of funny, actually.
But all these activists, I don't know what sort of mental denial and mental gymnastics they go through. I know some of it because I've actually been to university and I've actually met these people. They are totally unhinged, but they think if you don't talk about it, if you treat them nicely, they will become nice people. It's like, and then they try to use Christ as an example. It's like, dude, Christ didn't convert everybody. Okay, look at the Middle East. Only the good people converted. Wake up and smell the bullshit you're shoving, liberals. But seriously, you try to talk to them and it's like, well, we have to get rid of the death penalty because it doesn't deter crime. They say, what are you going to replace it with? Well, we just haven't found out how to cure evil yet. And it's like, you quote the Bible and you don't even know. I literally tell you it's an incurable disease. You can't save everybody. Isn't that the exact quote? You can't save everybody.
Yeah. I don't really know too much what else to talk about. I was kind of thinking maybe we could just kind of end off now and, unless I'll have something else to discuss. I don't really know of anything.
Still waiting on the $5,000, Trump.
Yeah, dude, for real, man. That would be lovely.
That would be great right now.
We've been dealing with birthday parties. Yeah, well, today we did Chuck E. Cheese, Build-A-Bear, and a movie.
Oh,
yeah. My daughter
Nice.
turned 6 on Thursday, and my son turns 4 on Sunday. So today,
you know what's so crazy? Not long ago they were born.
Yeah,
I remember when they were just babies.
Yeah. So tomorrow is day 3 of birthday shenanigans, and luckily I'm getting to do coffee and gaming because they don't get up that early on the weekends. So otherwise, I was gonna have to postpone coffee and gaming because of that. But I'm kind of beat because we've been doing I went into work this morning just to finish up some paperwork. I actually had the day off, but because I came in and did paperwork and get caught up on next week. My boss is going on vacation, so I'll kind of be on my own, with nobody there. So that'll be real fun.
You gonna be okay?
I don't think I have a choice.
No, bro, you built your house. Now you have to live in it.
I know, right? So, I'm fairly confident I don't have anything this coming week that's not going to be. I scheduled it out because I knew that he would be out of town. So I was like, well, I did a bunch of easy stuff this week. It'll be long days, but it'll be easy work. Things that can't. Well, let me knock on wood.
Remember Sweet Baby Inc.?
Yeah.
South of Midnight may be the final game they have worked on. Sony and other companies have pulled the plug. Microsoft is looking at closing. Microsoft is looking at firing 400 people, but they said it's got nothing to do with the success or failure. Oh, yeah, right.
Right. Speaking of video games, I purchased Game Pass.
Nice.
So now I have to now I need to get me a controller.
It's use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird this week though, with like how things are gonna go. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes for both you and me this week.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's like,
I
what?
am not looking forward to going. I am not looking forward to going back to work tomorrow. I am not.
Yeah, I'm luckily I'm not
Luckily,
going back
the
till
opening
Monday.
weekend.
It'll be a
Luckily,
long day.
opening weekend's over. But now it's like, oh.
is it upcoming that's in. I mean, I've heard there's Thunderbolts, but what else?
Nothing interesting anymore.
They
There's
already
nothing
spoiled
interesting.
what would they already spoiled who's already going to be in it
Who?
in Avengers.
They already showed the cast. It's
Avengers.
huge. It's an
Yeah,
Avengers.
and they
Yeah.
already showed which of the Thunderbolts are going to be in it, so they
And they said Tony's.
unintentionally spoiled the ending of Thunderbolts.
Put it this way, they showed a chair with Robert Downey Jr.'s name on it, and we've already had the reveal, so we know it's an introductory movie to the next Fantastic Four, and they're already talking about making Sim Sword prance. So that crashed everybody.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna head on out because I'm tired. I can't stay
Yeah.
awake. I'm beat. We'll be back
No,
tomorrow
fine.
for
There's-
coffee and gaming. It'll be a good time.
Coffee and gaming, definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah.
All right.
About David's book. Check out Leif's channel and check out Anime Night's channel.
Hey,
They go
David, I got
live
a quick
right on.
question for you once after the outro.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see you guys later. Have a great night. We'll see you in the morning. Bright and
Yep.
early. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good day, sir.
Later, dudes.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Hell, I got to go.
Peace out.
Burn in hell, New World Order. Fuck you. Fuck you, New World Order. Fuck you, Bill Gates.
I love you. You gotta do better than that.